games, you can stake claims. Came to show the movement moving like a freight train, breaking walls and crumble earth with every step we take. We walking by with lash and your neck will break. Never let it stray, so say it wrong, won't set it straight. So coming at us with an awkward demeanor is leaving your life in the dead of face. So pedal straight, avoid these shots, we send it all costs. Truly believing that it'll be different, we watching your body get hauled off. Simple as this, we giving the vibe of the revolution that we living within. Diminish the doubt of the haters that talk on the low because of this minuscule shit.
What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you live and bright and sunny on this morning. It is 8 o'clock in the morning on the 8th day of July, 2024. And it is time for all the news, weather, and general internet nonsense that only I can bring you. I tell you the weather, but you already know what it is. It's Monday, which means it's time to look at the tabletop role-playing game sales, freebies, and of course, bundles. And because I can, first want to give a shout out to my new thing up on Drive-Thru, my first co-op with GRIMJIM over at Postmortem. We have the Cess Gear and Ammo Southerner catalog. This is a revisiting a project I did way back in the 90s where I tried to make a complete list of all the skills presented in every tabletop role-playing game at the time. And it was well received at the time. In fact, it's kind of sort of germinated into other role-playing game systems you might have heard of. So obviously I got to give a shout out to this. Yay, I'm on Drive-Thru again, and it actually is edited well. Meanwhile, for our normal stuff, blah, 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 it's time to head on over to our friends at Drive-Thru/EN World for giving us this list. First, this week's freebies. We have Ivan Dojovic. Is that the guy who just got kicked out of the WWE? DJORDJEVIC has a new 5e fantasy setting called Ruins of Carrion, Kharion, which is Blades of the Dark meets 5e, inspired by Vikings. We have Highline Hijack, a rave train heist for Cyborg from Xeno and Zaf. Infiltrate a train where there's, I guess, a party going on, and then, try and find stuff out and do cyborg-y type stuff. Rave train, is that a word? I guess it's a word. We have a Mother's Embrace, a Candle Obscura adventure from a secret lair. This is a mystery about a guy who jumped off a roof who had no reason to jump off the roof. And then somebody saw something crawl out of his skull as he was falling. Ooh, spooky, spooky, spooky. Ready for some more post-apocalypse Fallout-inspired love as we wait patiently for the announcement of Season 2, which should be hopefully in a few days. We've got the 5th issue of the Terrors and Wasteland Dispatch from Misfit Studios for your favorite post-apocalypse role-playing game of choice, which provides you with a new collection of terrors and other horrible things to encounter while you're traveling across the post-apocalypse. DM's Guild's got a bunch of stuff marked down and on sale. Ada Hayton brings us the Curse of Ravenwood, that's the other place, I guess. Which is a 3rd level adventure about a spooky town where there's spooky deaths happening and spooky stuff that spooky player characters must spookily navigate. Is it too soon to start using the spooky stuff because Halloween is technically just around the corner? No, it is never too soon. And speaking of goblins, which we weren't, a creator by the name of Cake has an adventure out called Goblin's Idol, where you are a bunch of adventurers who have to go through and clean up a mess that a bunch of goblins created by unwittingly releasing a evil thingy. Nicole Holy wants to expand your game with the combat-free social challenge called Asmodeus' Attorney, where you must stop fiendish forces in court, inspired by Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games. And speaking again of Halloween, we have some love for Vampire the Masquerade. This one is called Primordials, The Beast Redreamed. It's a new take on the Beast sub thing from World of Darkness. If you guys remember World of Darkness as it, began to stretch out its lifespan, it got more and more deference. It's like, okay, we've done vampires. We've done werewolves. What's left? No, we could do Frankenstein's. Okay, yeah, okay, vampires, werewolves, Frankenstein. What else? I don't wizards. Okay, vampire wizards. What else? Oh god. I don't know. Swamp monsters. Yeah, I think got a little desperate towards the end. And finally, lightning round. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 free mappy type thingies for you to use and abuse as any way you seem fit for your campaign of choice. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new backgrounds / subclasses for 2014 5th edition. Remember, these are all still canon, hardback, Wizards of the Coast approved, canon, official Dungeons & Dragons 5e product until September. Speaking of sales, as I mentioned, Drive-Thru and DM's Guild are both having huge 5e sales. Drive-Thru is running a Dungeons & Dragons summer sale, discounting pretty much all their D&D content and all their Roll20 D&D content. Right now, down to 40% till the 9th, which is tomorrow, but I have a feeling it'll drop even lower as we get even closer to Gen Con. And of course, finally the release of the 2024 Player's Handbook, thus ending 5th edition as we know it. So yeah, this sounds like they're trying to get out of the 5e market as quickly as they can because they don't know what's going to happen next. Heroic Maps has got a big sale on. Wait for it. Maps. They've got 60% off all their individual maps and 90% off for all their bundles. So you've got a whole bunch of bundles of maps of places and locations and stuff like that. That ends on July 15th. We've got a Pathfinder 2e mega bundle from Legendary Games. This is called the Lucky 15 Pathfinder 2e mega bundle. It's got 15 titles for Pathfinder, including some adventures and stuff like that. That's $20. And then they have a 1001 Legendary Knights 5e bundle. No, it is not 1001 titles. They want you to be sure that you know that. It's a bunch of books and zines and stuff like that to expand your 5e for $30, including some new classes, races, monsters, stuff like that. And again, as I said, everybody's marking down their stuff. So we've got the Dungeon Masters Guild big bundle of everything, which is a huge, huge markdown of a bunch of the 5e stuff on DM's Guild for both regular and Roll20. $60 gets you at least 20 products. And finally, we've got some stuff on our Storyteller's Vault for Vampire the Masquerade. This comes to us from Zazun Molanar. I apologize. That's ZCUZSANNA, first word, MOLNAR, second word, Zazuna Molanar. Sorry for messing up your name there, my friend. These are cards for Vampire the Masquerade. I love the cards. I don't know if anybody's ever done cards before for Vampire the Masquerade. I'm sure they have on Etsy, but I don't know if it was ever official, So these are reference cards, 3x5 probably. We've got a tradition deck, a clan deck, and a creed deck all bundled together and ready to print out. That's just, just sucks. You have to still print it out and then slide it into the thing, which means you end up spending as much money as you would have spent. It was actually just a solid product, but still, I do love the cards. And the great thing about the cards, even if they are printed out, is you only have to print out the ones you're going to use, right? My character has none of these powers. I never need to print out these cards. On the other hand, here's the 5 powers my character does have, so I can just print these out, and I have them for quick reference. Love the cards. And finally, charity bundles. As always, when referring to these charities, if you want to give to a charity, but you don't think you need 25 games about bugs, maybe just give to the charity directly. They all have pages and GoFundMes and stuff like that. Ulysses Spiel has a Fading Sun bundle, 2 Fading Sun bundles over on Humble Bumble. Yes, I am still calling it Humble Bumble. And I will always call it Humble Bumble because, yeah, it's a great name. This is $18 and contains everything you need to start playing Fading Suns for E. And then they have the second bundle for $25, which contains every adventure that we know of that was ever written for the Fading Suns product line, which was sort of a science fiction-y thing. Esper Genesis, the 5e game, has a bundle. This is $15. It goes to support the Diana Jones Award Emerging Designer Program. Hey, did you know I was nominated for a Diana Jones Emerging Designer Program? I don't know if you knew that, but I was nominated. I didn't make it to the final round, but I was nominated. Were you? Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, yes, so Esper Genesis, everything that was ever made for Esper Genesis for 5e, spacey type stuff within the 5e thingy. Chaosium has released a huge bundle of RuneQuest. This is $18. It goes to support Code.org, which is a charity that I think teaches coding and computer skills to kids and stuff like that. I'm not sure. You know, they never include a link to the charities because they want you to give the money to the bundle, not the charity. But yeah. So this is RuneQuest. Everything that we know of that's ever been printed for RuneQuest, ventures, starter stuff. If you're ever interested in the other fantasy game that isn't D&D, check out RuneQuest. We've got another huge Map Extravaga bundle. This is the never-ending bundle for Campaign Cartographer 3, which I told you they were going to extend. Last week, I said, I bet you they're going to extend it for another week. And they have extended it for another week. This ends tonight at midnight, but they're going to extend it again. I don't even know why they bother saying that there's a due date if they just expend it. I hypothesized, I don't know if I'm anywhere, shape, or form correct, but I hypothesized last week that maybe they have to give a due date that the bundles expire for, I don't know, reasons. Limited, I don't know how the bundles work. So, but it does seem that we do see the same bundles return over and over and over again. So I don't know if it's like you have to let it run its 20-day course, but then you have the option to renew it, or you have to let it run its 20 days course, and then you have to wait a month, and then you can start it again. I should probably look into it since it's a question I keep asking. But for now, I'm just going to assume that because we just see these same bundles over and over and over again, that they have a timeline, a time frame, but at the end of that time frame, you have the option, just like eBay, right? You can restart your eBay if it doesn't sell, if you're willing to spend the money again. So I'm guessing it's something like that. But now that I've broached the question, I got to look it up. So anyways, yes, this is the Campaign Cartographer bundle. It's $30. It goes to children's charities. It's pretty much the amazing Campaign Cartographer license line and everything like that. A whole bunch of tools and stuff like that. Since this is a huge, big, older program, I highly recommend that if you are going to get it, to check it for viruses, malware, and make sure it's compatible with your computer. We've also got a Fantasy Grounds bundle from our friends over at Paizo. This contains a whole bunch of stuff for Pathfinder 2, converted to the magical world of Fantasy Grounds. Looks like it's pretty much all the starter stuff for Pathfinder 2 2nd edition and a bunch of adventures. It goes to support children's hospitals, which is a good charity to back. And that is it. Obviously, the only thing I recommend you pick up this week is, of course, my stuff on Drive-Thru, the Cess Gears and Ammo summer catalog, followed by the upcoming Cess Gear and Ammo back to school sale, which I'll be working on as soon as I finish this project that I'm working on this week, which hopefully will be done by the end of this week. But yeah, by the way, San Diego Comic Book Convention countdown begins today. And we've got 2 weeks before SDCC starts. So if that's something you're interested in heading out to in San Diego, you probably should start making your plans if you haven't already, because that town just goes crazy during San Diego Comic Book Convention. Now, obviously, San Diego Comic Book Convention doesn't mean what it used to mean, because it hasn't really been comic book convention for a long time. Now it's just Hollywood. You know, and even when it used to be, okay, it's Hollywood, but it's movies that, you know, are geek movies. Now it's just anything, you know. CIS New Jersey will probably have a booth there, you know. The young and the restless. People who have nothing to do with geekdom. But yeah, I've gone a few times. It's fun. You know, it's fun. It's crazy. It's loud. It's claustrophobic. First time I met Stan Lee was at San Diego Comic-Con. Of the 3 times I've met him. The guy from Harmony Gold who did Robotech, I met him there and talked about Robotech with him. J. Michael Stravinsky, met him there talking about Babylon 5, stuff like that. So yeah, back when I used to go, it was a lot of fun. I assume it still is fun. Obviously, cosplay. So there you go, San Diego Comic-Con. I've included a link to all the ones I think are worth your time in the description. Plus, you can always just go to Humble Bumble or DM's Guild or Drive-Thru and check out the sales each week. And that's about it. Nothing else sales-wide that looks interesting. So head on over to Drive-Thru and buy my merch. I'll be back soon.